Y'all, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Justin Bieber has been making headlines lately. But honey, it's not for his music this time. No, no, no. Our boy Justin is finally speaking out about those wild Diddy parties and, plot twist, Ellen DeGeneres is somehow involved. I know, right? My jaw hit the floor too. Now, we all know Diddy and Ellen love to put on this whole love and light act. They're always acting like the quirkiest, most adorable duo you've ever seen. But for folks like Justin who've been behind the scenes, it's a whole different story. And let me tell you, it ain't pretty. But before we dive into the juicy details, let's take a moment to remember that these are real people we're talking about. Sure, they're celebrities, but they've got feelings too. That being said, if even half of what's being said is true, whew, chilly, it's a mess.
Your party start, let's say.
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
Now, y'all know Diddy's been in hot water for a while. There's been whispers and rumors swirling around him for years. But now, with all these allegations coming to light, people are starting to connect the dots. And one of those dots leads straight to our boy Justin Bieber. Think about it. Justin was just a baby-faced teen when he hit the big time. He was thrown into this crazy world of fame and fortune before he could even drive a car. And who was there, waiting in the wings? Diddy, of course. Now, I'm not saying anything for sure, but a lot of folks are wondering if Justin might have been one of those young boys Diddy supposedly took advantage of under the guise of mentoring them. But hold on to your wigs, because this is where it gets really wild. Ellen DeGeneres, America's former sweetheart, is somehow mixed up in all of this too. I know, I can hardly believe it myself, but the tea is piping hot, and it's spilling everywhere. Remember how Diddy used to be a regular on Ellen's show? They'd laugh and joke about those notorious parties of his. Ellen would ask about the secret after parties that everyone talked about, but no one seemed to actually attend. Well, honey, it looks like that might have been a big old cover-up. With all these new allegations swirling around Ellen, people are starting to wonder if maybe she wasn't just joking about those parties. Maybe, just maybe, she was actually there. I mean, think about it. All that talk about skipping the after parties could have been a clever way to throw us off the scent. It's like when your friend says they're definitely not going to eat the last slice of pizza, but you come back 5 minutes later and it's gone. We see you, Ellen. Now, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Ellen DeGeneres used to be the queen of daytime TV. She started out as a stand-up comic in the 80s, working her way up from small venues in New Orleans to becoming a household name. She got her big break on TV in 1992 with a show called Open House. And from there, it was like a rocket to the moon. Remember that iconic moment on the Oprah Winfrey Show back in April 1997 when Ellen came out to the world? That was huge for the LGBTQ+ community. It was like a giant rainbow-colored spotlight shining on issues that had been kept in the dark for way too long. Fast forward to 2003 and the Ellen DeGeneres show hit our screens. For years, Ellen was America's quirky, dance-loving sweetheart. She was handing out gifts, playing pranks, and preaching kindness. It seemed like she could do no wrong, but oh honey, how the mighty have fallen.
She was furious.
What did she say? What did she say?
She just really was on a rant. Because I had mentioned on your show that, you know, I wish that women would support each other more, in particular super influential women. There's so few female comics over 50 that are making a living or doing okay. Like, we need to support each other. I expressed that to her, and she was like, I don't have to have anybody on my show I don't like and I don't want. I said, I know. And she kept saying, you know, I don't hate you.
By 2007, cracks started to show in Ellen's squeaky clean image. A former writer from her sitcom spilled some scalding hot tea about how Ellen treated her writing staff. Apparently, behind closed doors, Ellen would tear into them, harshly criticizing their work. But then she'd waltz into rehearsals with that megawatt smile like everything was just peachy. Talk about two-faced, but it wasn't until 2016 that things really started to unravel. Kathy Griffin, in her memoir, dropped some not-so-subtle hints about a certain beloved daytime talk show host with a mean streak. She wrote, I'm almost positive a certain beloved daytime talk show host once had me kicked out of a backstage dressing room at the Emmy Awards. I can't prove it, but this person who has short blonde hair has a mean streak that all of Hollywood knows about. Gee, I wonder who she could be talking about. And once that dam broke, honey, the flood came rushing in. More and more people started coming forward with their own Ellen horror stories. The internet turned into a regular detective agency, digging up old clips and analyzing every interaction. Remember that uncomfortable moment with Mariah Carey back in 2008? Ellen practically tried to force Mariah to admit she was pregnant on air by shoving a glass of champagne in her face. At the time, it seemed like harmless fun, but looking back, yikes.
And then The other thing is that people are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
All right. Well, you don't have to.
No, that's okay. No, honestly,
you don't have to answer me. Let's just toast with champagne and decide.
But they've
if,
been saying that since we. I can have some champagne. It's just fattening. So,
you can have champagne.
That's not champagne because you can't.
No, it is.
Is it really?
Yeah. You want to taste it?
I can't believe you did this to me, Ellen.
What? No.
Are you trying?
I'm not going to ask you if you're pregnant or
This
not.
is
I'm
peer
just going to
pressure.
say.
You see what Ellen is doing? This is peer pressure.
No. Let's toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we should.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe her. Why would we toast to that? How about to the future?
You can
and
really-
for both of our futures, who knows what they hold?
Who knows? All right, go ahead.
Okay, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
It's too early for me. I only drink it after 3 p.m.
Yeah. You're pregnant. You're pregnant. You are pregnant.
Mariah later opened up about how uncomfortable that moment made her feel. In a 2020 interview with Vulture, she said, "I was extremely uncomfortable with that moment is all I can say. And I really have had a hard time grappling with the aftermath. I wasn't ready to tell anyone because I had had a miscarriage." Now, to be fair, Ellen didn't know about Mariah's personal struggles. But come on, Ellen, read the room. And let's not forget about that cringe-worthy moment with Dakota Johnson. Ellen thought she'd get a laugh by calling Dakota out for not inviting her to her birthday party. But Dakota wasn't having it. She clapped back, saying she did invite Ellen, but Ellen didn't show up. Oops.
How was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited. Last time I was on the show, last year, you gave me a bunch of about not inviting you, but I didn't even know you wanted to be invited.
Well, who
'Cause I
doesn't
didn't
want to
even
be
know you-
invited to a party?
Well, I didn't even know you liked me.
Of course I like you. You knew I liked you. You've been on the show many times, and don't I show like? Yeah.
But I did invite you and you didn't come. So,
This time you invited me?
yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How do you know? I don't think so.
Ask everybody. Ask Jonathan, your producer. Who
Okay.
said you were?
I
Yeah,
was
he's right
invited?
there.
Why didn't I go?
I don't know.
Was it, oh yeah, I had that thing. It was probably in Malibu. That's too far for me to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. No, I think I do remember I was invited. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, but I really didn't remember that until just now.
You could practically see Ellen squirming in her seat, realizing her little gotcha moment had backfired spectacularly. It's like Ellen's whole MO is to make her guests squirm for a laugh. But honey, discomfort doesn't equal comedy. It's just, well, uncomfortable. Now, let's talk about Ellen's beef with Wendy Williams. That's a whole other kettle of fish. Wendy's had her own very public feud with Diddy, dating all the way back to the 90s. Word on the street is that Diddy pulled some strings to get Wendy fired from her radio gig after she hinted he might be on the down low. Talk about drama. When Wendy appeared on Ellen's show, the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Ellen didn't even try to pretend things were all good between them. It was like watching two cats circling each other, waiting to pounce.
All right, let's talk about the show. You got renewed for 3 more years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I mean, you're an OG in this game. You know what it is.
Yeah, it's
You know.
it's really amazing. I mean, as we know, talk shows come and go. To be able to stay on the air, it's a big deal.
Yeah, well, in 2020, we will be 11 years old.
Yeah.
And there's no rhyme or reason to say that a show is going to last just because you get 1 season. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
Is cute. And some people say that he looks like you. I've heard that. You've never heard that? They say it in a good way.
Who?
Okay,
What's the
fine.
song? What's the song?
Baby, baby.
Oh,
I forgot the name of the new one.
that's not new.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
What's his new song called? I forget. I know all the words.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
Do I look like Justin Bieber?
No, they have made the equation.
Oh, well.
That's in a good way.
I don't mind that.
He's cute.
He's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Y'all ever notice how Ellen just can't handle it when someone throws shade her way? But she's always quick to roast someone else. It's all fun and games until the tables turn, right? Speaking of people who can't take a joke, let's talk about Diddy for a hot minute. Remember when he was on Jimmy Kimmel's show and Jimmy asked him about his ex-bodyguard spilling some tea? Diddy's whole vibe changed faster than you can say bad boy for life. And then there was that time Diddy was on Ellen's show and she whipped out a picture of him looking, let's say, exposed. She went in on him like it was nothing.
Speaking of you in your underwear, let's talk about the paparazzi shot in Bora Bora.
Okay.
So you are obviously in a private bungalow.
Yeah.
And because usually we're all pretty good at spotting paparazzi.
Yeah.
They hide in boats and pretend to be fishermen, and we're like, you're paparazzi. I mean, we're pretty good at it. How did you not see that there was paparazzi there?
Well, I just didn't see them. I think I wasn't really looking out for them either, so.
Was there a boat? When you think back on it now, can you see where they may have been?
Yeah, they're definitely in a boat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how quickly after that was shot did you realize that happened? Did that go on wire right away?
Yeah, it was pretty much like a couple days. It was like a couple days later. Scooter hit me. He was like, "Yo, I hate to tell you this, but penis is on the internet." I was like, "What? How does?" And so then the first thing I saw was like the censored one, and it had like the black thing over it. And I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" Like I don't know what this is gonna look like, and then. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So there's a young woman in the background you can see in the bed.
Yeah, no.
Is that your girlfriend?
No, it's not.
Just a girl that you were in Bora Bora with?
Yeah.
You just brought a friend to Bora Bora?
Yeah.
And you're just naked with your friend?
Why are you putting me on the spot like this? Gosh.
I mean, you can say, why can't you say you're dating somebody?
I'm not dating anyone though.
She's just a friend?
She's just a friend.
Wow. I have friends, I've never seen them naked like that. And they don't bring me to Bora Bora.
Stop, you're making me blush, dude.
Is anyone really shocked that Diddy and Ellen vibe so well? I mean, these two practically share a playbook. Diddy's been in hot water for how he treats women for years. Misa Hilton, Kim Porter, Cassie, the list goes on. And right now, Diddy's facing what could be the juiciest trial Hollywood's seen in ages, all thanks to Cassie's explosive lawsuit. She came out swinging, accusing him of exploitation and physical abuse. It's wild, y'all.
On September 16, 2024, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs was arrested in New York City and charged with trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in relations for money. Prosecutors allege Diddy ran a criminal enterprise involving forced labor, kidnapping, and bribery. At the center of it all are so-called freak-offs, orchestrated erotic activities where Diddy allegedly directed men and women in X-rated performances. Many were said to be unknowingly filmed and blackmailed. Purportedly, victims, some underage, were controlled using threats, violence, narcotics, and money. Raids on Diddy's homes uncovered videos, firearms, and curiously, over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Combs denies all charges, but if convicted, faces up to life in prison.
We are committed to bringing justice to everyone who's been victimized by the defendant.
I hit rock bottom.
Now, while Ellen might not be in the same league as Diddy, at least not that we know of, she's had her own drama with domestic issues. There's been chatter that Ellen is hella controlling and possessive when it comes to her wife, Portia de Rossi. They say Ellen pushed Portia to ditch her acting career and wanted to micromanage every little detail of her life because of her own fears and insecurities. It reportedly got so bad that Portia battled an eating disorder for years before finally getting her life back on track. Ellen claims she was clueless about Portia's struggles, saying she only found out when she read it in Portia's book. But honey, how do you not notice something like that? When the media dragged Ellen through the mud for how she treated Portia, she got a lifeline when Portia released a statement backing her up. But hold up, an insider later spilled the tea, claiming Portia was pushed into that statement out of fear that Ellen might retaliate if she didn't play nice. Now that's some serious drama. The insider said, Portia has seen Ellen at her worst better than anyone. She understands Ellen's controlling behavior and the cold way she treats people because she's been on the receiving end of it herself. Yikes. But it doesn't stop at romantic drama. Just like Diddy, Ellen's got a reputation for being rude, mean, and downright overbearing with her staff. It's a whole mess. In fact, whispers are flying that her behavior towards her staff played a big role in getting her show canceled. Back in 2020, BuzzFeed dropped a bombshell report featuring testimonies from 10 former employees of the Ellen DeGeneres show. They all echoed the same sentiment. It was a toxic workplace, with Ellen turning a blind eye to the drama. And get this, there were even accusations of racism. But hold hold on to your wigs because it gets even messier. Ellen supposedly treated her home staff even worse than the folks at the show. Her former housekeeper once spilled the tea about how Ellen ran her household like a military-style boot camp, barking orders, tormenting employees over tiny errors, and taking pleasure in firing people. Another former staffer talked about how Ellen would lay traps before she left for work, strategically leaning matchsticks behind covered doors and cushions to test if cleaners were dusting every square inch of her mansion. Now that's some next-level paranoia, and you know folks were giving Ellen the side-eye, but those side-eyes quickly turned into full-on cancel vibes when she got tangled up with Diddy and his infamous Anything Goes parties. Things really went downhill when paparazzi caught up with Ellen and started grilling her about those wild parties. In a video that blew up online, you could see how jittery she got when asked if she'd ever attended Diddy's crazy gatherings. It was a sight to behold. She practically sprinted to her car to dodge that question. Now, on the surface, Ellen's reaction could just mean she didn't want to throw her buddy Diddy under the bus. But dig a little deeper and it raises some serious eyebrows. What if she actually knew a lot about those parties and might have even gotten involved herself?
No, it's great. So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
No,
it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
And then it will carry on there.
Yeah.
Word on the street is that there might even be footage of Ellen getting down at Diddy's freak-offs, and she could be one of the folks from Diddy's inner circle under investigation by the feds. Now, none of this has been confirmed, but insiders say Ellen's been trying to keep a low profile for a minute, hoping to dodge any fallout from Diddy's ongoing legal mess. Even if she somehow manages to escape any official ties to the case, it seems like people are always going to side-eye her and believe she was a regular at Diddy's wild parties. The rumors just won't quit. One person said, "I think Ellen got off humiliating the women and boys while Diddy was humiliating the women and boys. What a team." Another person said, "One of the scariest things about this is how charming these people are. They can be so likable, so relatable and friendly. But in the end, the devil always comes for his dues." But what do y'all think? Did Ellen really get involved in Diddy's parties? Or was she just an innocent bystander? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And that's the tea for today, besties. Remember, while we love a good gossip session, these are real people we're talking about. Let's hope the truth comes out and justice is served where it's needed. Until next time, stay fabulous, stay informed, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.